Good day, everyone. Welcome to Asian Virtual Conference on Multidisciplinary Research, sponsored by Emilio Aguinaldo College. Thank you for Emilio Aguinaldo College for this opportunity for me to share my research output entitled Knowledge, Attitudes, and Practices of the Caregivers of Differently Abled Children in Metro Dumaguete. My name is Cypher Iputong of Silliman University under the Institute of Rehabilitative Sciences for the Physical Therapy Program. Every parent always wants fit, handsome, beautiful, and intelligent children who will do well in a competitive society and become assets to humanity. That's according to Finney in 1997. And no one wants a differently abled child. But with a different abled child in a family, it requires considerable adjustment, not only to the parents, but also to the siblings and to the relatives as well. Some cultures view differently abled child as a form of punishment. The differently abled child, the family, or an ancestor is said to have been targeted by God or a god and is punished for having sinned or violating a taboo. That's according to Gupta and Singhal and also Tutiklin. In India, it is viewed as a tragedy, which argues that it is not possible for a differently abled child to be happy or enjoy a good quality of life. This belief is also true in the Philippines, according to Ditoris 2002, where some Filipinos think that they are being punished if they have differently abled child. Differently abled children in this study is used interchangeably with children with disabilities, and it refers to children up to age of 18 who have long-term physical, mental, intellectual, or sensory impairments. That's according to UN Convention 2002. And on that said convention, it spells out the basic rights of children. First, without discrimination, they have the right to survival. They have the right to develop their fullest potential. They have the right to protection from abuse and exploitation. They have the right to participate fully in family. They have the right to cultural and social life. And the last, the right to play, rest, and enjoy leisure. With those backgrounds, this paper investigates if the caregivers of differently abled children classified as regular, irregular, dropout, and without intervention significantly differ in terms of their knowledge, attitudes, and practices in the caring for the said children. Regular here means that the child had intervention for at least a week. Irregular means that the child has intervention for at least a month. And dropout here means that the child had stopped participating in any intervention, and without intervention means that the child had not received any intervention. The second objective in this study is to investigate if there is significant relationship among knowledge, attitudes, and practices of the said givers, where the ultimate goal of the study would generate data as a basis for possible intervention program that would holistically address the needs and problems of the caregivers and of also the differently abled children. This study uses descriptive, comparative, and correlational study. Descriptive is used to determine the demographic characteristic of both parents and the children. Comparative is used to determine the differences in the knowledge, attitudes, and extent of practices for those respondents with categorized as regular, irregular, dropout, and without. And correlational study is used to determine the significant relationship among the knowledge, attitudes, and practices of the said caregivers. The survey instrument used was a researcher-made questionnaire. There are 4 sections. The first section is about the demographic of both the parents and the differently abled child. The second section of the questionnaire are a set of questions that measures the level of knowledge. The third section are questions that measures the level of attitude of parents towards their differently abled child. And the last sections are a set of questions that measure the extent in the practice of the care of the said parents. There are 119 respondents who participated in the study, and they came from Metro Dumaguete. Metro Dumaguete composed of the Dumaguete City, and the neighboring towns of Sibulan, Bacong, and Valencia. I hope that you can see in my figure the map of Negros Occidental showing Dumaguete City and the surrounding towns of Sibulan, Bacong, and Valencia. Respondents were either the mothers, fathers, or any relatives or non-relatives that takes care of the differently able child. And these respondents were classified according to the exposure of the child to the intervention as regular, irregular, dropout, and without. Percentage means and standard deviations are used in presenting the data. And ANOVA is used to test if there is significant difference that exists in the level of knowledge, attitude, and extent of practices on those parents or uh, participants who are categorized as regular, irregular, dropout, and without. And consequently, an SQ test is employed to determine where the significant difference lies. And the last, person-product moment correlation test is employed to determine if there are significant relationships among the knowledge, attitude, and practices. Herefore, by the result of my study, in this table, it shows the mean score and the standard deviation of knowledge, attitude, and practices. Under the mean scores, knowledge has the lowest score with 79.97%. And also note that the practice has the highest score of 86.22%. The knowledge under SD or standard deviations has moderate the standard deviation, taking note that attitude has the highest standard deviation. That means their scores are spread out. While on the practice, the standard deviation is the lowest, which is 9.4. And that means that their scores are near the mean average or the average, and that means that the practice are similar. On the differences in the knowledge, attitude, and practice, under the knowledge, it has F test of 7.5. That is a high score or result, which means that there is something significant in this category. And with a p-value of 0.001, which is lower than the set value of the level of confidence of 0.05. That means it is statistically significant. With that, SNK test is employed in order to determine which category where the significant difference lies. As you can see, under the without with the red color or with the red values, it shows that the scores or the values are less than 0.05, okay? Which means there is significant difference under these categories. So the knowledge has a significant difference under the without category intervention. And on attitude, F-test showed 0.8302, which is near 1.0, which this means that there is no significance. And the p-value with a 0.4799, which is greater than the set level of confidence of 0.05. That means there is no, it is not statistically significant. Same is true with the practice, 1.9366 means there is no significance with a p-value of 0.1276. That means it is greater than 0.05. That means there is no significant difference. On the relationship among knowledge, attitude, and practice of caregivers, knowledge versus attitude has an R value of 0.365499, which is a weak correlation, and a p-value of 0.00044, which is lesser than the level of confidence of 0.05, which is statistically significant. Note that knowledge versus practice has a score of 0.519598, which is described as a moderate correlation, and the p-value is 0.0000, which means that it is statistically significant. Attitude versus practice also has a weak correlation of 0.398295 R value with a p-value of 0.00007, which is again statistically significant. So that means that the knowledge, attitude, And knowledge and practice and attitude practices are significantly related to each other. For my conclusion, again, there is significant difference in the knowledge among categories intervention, and it significantly differed in the without intervention. For this, my recommendation is the improvement of knowledge of the caregivers through trainings and seminars, and should focus mainly on the parents of without intervention, because I think they are the ones that are left out. Okay, and for the significant relationship, there is really a significant relationship between knowledge, attitude, and practices. Taking note that there is significant uh, or moderate relationship between the knowledge and practice. So with this, my recommendation is the improvement in knowledge. So this can be done through the use of online resources, for those who can, of course, have access to online resources, and to trainings and seminars sponsored by the local government unit and also the academic institution. So with here, improvement of knowledge is very, very important, so that those caregivers will have a good attitude, so that this will be incorporated in the care of the said children. So these are my resources. You can check on this. And again, thank you to Emilio Aguinaldo College for this opportunity for me to share my research output. Again, thank you and good day to each and everyone.